Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Unparalleled Universe for another action figure review / showcase. And today we're taking a look at the brand new 112 Biochemical Universe series R.P.D Depraved Officer by the Patriot Studio. And before we get into this, I want to give a huge shout out to the folks over at the Patriot Studio. They hit me up on Instagram and asked me if I wanted to take a look at their brand new Depraved Officer. And I said, hell yeah, because I had seen pictures of this and I thought that it looked amazing. So huge thank you to them. And yeah, I'm excited to talk about this because it's a great looking figure. So let's go ahead and get right into it. On the front here, we could see some awesome artwork of the Depraved Officer. He's looking pretty creepy. I like the colors that we have in the background with the green and the purple and pink and stuff. It looks really dope. On the side of the box, it says the Patriot Studio. On the back, there's just a whole bunch of, necessary information, I guess. And then over here, it does say the Patriot Studio. And I really like this packaging. It's very small and compact. It kind of opens up like a shoebox. Check this out. This is very nice and clean. And then you could take this off, and there we have the figure hanging out, looking creepy and crazy. And yeah, this packaging is really nice. It's very small and easy to store, and it looks cool. Oh, I just noticed this artwork on the side here. That's nice. But yeah, the packaging is awesome. This is the type of box that I would like to use when I eventually get my Odious figure out. It's very small, compact, and convenient, with some cool artwork on the front. So yeah, this is really dope. Alrighty, so here we have the Depraved Officer right out of the box. And I went ahead and put his belt and his hat on so we could get the full effect. But man, this is a great looking figure. He's got the soft goods going that are very well done. He's got some really great sculpting work. And then he has some amazing bloody paint work. As you could see, this guy looks very gruesome and really nasty. The blood is very realistic on this guy. It's a scary looking figure for sure. Yeah, they killed it, man. This thing looks amazing. Right out of the box, the joints did feel pretty good for the most part, but I will say his shoulder joints get really tight. In fact, Patriot Studio actually sent me both versions, and on the other version, the arm actually snapped off. I don't know if it was my fault, I don't know if I was too rough with it or what, but the joint was just really, really tight, and I couldn't find a way to loosen it up. And after playing with it for a while, it just snapped off. I did ask around to see if that was the case with other people's copies, and everyone told me no. So hopefully that was just the isolated incident. On this guy, his shoulder was pretty tight, but I was able to get it loosened up, and then we were good to go. But yeah, on that first one, his arm broke off. That's definitely unfortunate because, these are really dope figures, but I do plan on buying another one. That's how much I like them. And also, on top of that, I think having a zombie missing an arm can actually be useful. So there we go. But I definitely want to buy a good version of the other one. And the only difference between this one and the other one is the head sculpt and the position of the hands. But yeah, look at that, man. A really great figure. And he does have a lot of great articulation, but obviously, the soft goods are going to hinder that a little bit. They did make a weird decision with the hands, though. He doesn't have any articulation in the wrist, so that's kind of weird. But, it's fine. I don't think a zombie needs to have the most articulation ever. But yeah, anyways, this is a really great figure. But let's go ahead and get in close and take a look at the awesome details on him. Because, yeah, this thing is pretty damn disgusting. They killed it on the blood work and the sculpting. It's incredible. So let's go ahead and check it out. They really did a great job with the gory elements on him. Like, check this head wound out. That looks nasty, man. Looks like his brain is coming through this hole in his head. Then we have some blood running down the face. And then look at the mouth. That looks really, really gross. Check out the teeth and the tongue. Look at that. Man, that looks crazy. Then it looks like he had a piece of his cheek ripped off of his face. Man. And then I love the eyes. They just kind of have a lifeless, haunting kind of look to them, And the skin tone matches very well with the blood and the eyes. And the whole thing is just terrifying, It's got a very creepy look. But man, I love that. And I like how they made the blood look kind of wet. It seems like it would be sticky if you touched it or something, I think that kind of adds to the whole creepy factor on this figure. And then look at that. He's got some blood running down his neck. So it looks like he's already feasted a little bit. And then he does come with his hat. And the hat fits on there very well. You don't have to worry about it falling off or anything once you have it on there. Sits on there nicely. And it looks really good. It's very well sculpted, a lot of nice detail. Got this badge thing on the front. I think that's called a badge. I don't know what it's called when it's when it's on the hat like that. But yeah, this looks really good. And like I said, it fits on there really, really snugly. So snugly, that's not a word I thought I'd use in this review. But yeah, it fits on there very nicely, and it, you know, you don't have to worry about it falling off or anything. And then moving on to the body, there is some great detail on here. Like, he does have a name tag. It's kind of hard to read, but he does have a badge on this side, and it's very well sculpted, so that's nice. And then, you know, he's got the police department's logo on this shoulder, and then same thing over here. It's kind of hard to read the details, but it does look good. And the soft goods are very well done. You know, his are covered in blood and dirt and everything. It looks really nice. And the stitching is well done too. So yeah, it looks really good. And it's tailored very well to the body underneath. So yeah, it looks very realistic. Not a whole lot of blood on the back, which makes sense. But yeah, some nice blood work on the shirt here. And then look at the arms. They're like covered in blood. Look how shiny and gross they look. Man, that's disgusting. It looks so realistic. It's crazy. And then he does have his belt, which, you know, sits on the outside of his pants. A part of me kind of wants to glue it down so it just stays in place, but I don't think I'll do that. But the sculpting work on the belt is really nice. There's a whole bunch of stuff on here. It's got the little, would that be like a pepper spray? I don't know if he would carry pepper spray, but he's got that little pouch there. He's got this piece here, which can hold the flashlight that he comes with, and the flashlight is basically just a, you know, black piece of plastic. Nothing too detailed there, but yeah, it looks good there. He's got another pouch, and then he has another empty pouch for his walkie. The walkie-talkie looks nice. I like how we have the screen there, the antenna. Yeah, this looks good, and it fits very well into the pouch. So there you go. And then he does have his gun, his little revolver. Not a whole lot going on with this, but it does look really good. It's got some nice paintwork and details, and yeah, it looks good. And it fits right into the holster, so maybe you could have somebody like grab his gun from his holster and shoot him or something. And the pants look good too. Look how dirty. Damn, this dude looks like he's been a zombie for a while. He's all jacked up. And then the shoes look good. So yeah, some great detail on this guy. Some nice soft goods, some nice sculpting work, some really nice paint, some like blood effects that are like very well executed, very realistic and disturbing, very gory. It looks nasty, man. It's a nasty looking figure, but I think it's amazing. They did a really, really great job on everything on this guy. I don't have any complaints when it comes to the look. Everything just looks really, really good. And you know, one thing about the wrists, like, you know, obviously they are missing the articulation, but I think as a result, the arms look better, you know. So that's cool. But yeah, look at that. Nasty. But man, this is a great looking figure. I'm not like into gory stuff, honestly. Like in movies and stuff, I don't like to watch a bunch of gory things or whatever, but on this figure, I really, really love it. I think it's just so nasty and disturbing. It's definitely going to stand out on the shelf. And yeah, man, it looks really, really gross. Look at that. Damn, I can't stop looking at it. Man. And aside from the accessories that he puts into his belt, he also has this poster, and it's like a flyer to sign up for the police department. And yeah, this is very cool. This figure is supposed to be like a Resident Evil figure, so this is, you know, for that whole element. I didn't really talk about that too much because I don't really care about that. I just want a cool zombie. But for the people that are into it for the Resident Evil side of it, this is very cool. And I like how it's an actual photo of a dude, because they do that in video games quite a bit, you know? Like, you'll have this whole digital world, and then there'll be like a realistic picture on the wall, like, you know, something like this. So this is very cool. And that's a cool little detail for them to include. And now for some size comparisons. Here we have the Depraved Officer alongside the only other zombie figures I have. On the left, we have the Marvel Legends What If Zombie Captain America. And on the right, we have the Toy Biz Marvel Legends The Living Zombie. And by next Halloween, I want to have a bunch of zombie figures. So I'm going to buy a few more of these Depraved Officers. I want to get the Mezco Dawn of the Dead zombies. And I just want to have a big army of zombies to go against my 6-inch figures next Halloween. And zombies are cool because you can mix them in with all kinds of different stuff, you know? Any corner of your action figure universe can get invaded by zombies and you could have a lot of fun with it. So yeah, by next Halloween, I want to have a bunch of zombie figures. And then next up, we have them alongside the Felix Toys Inkblot and the Noda Toys James. And then here we have them alongside the Jada Toys Invisible Man and the Mezco 112 Collective Michael Myers. Next up, we have him alongside one of my favorite Halloween time figures, and that would be the NECA Sam from Trick or Treat. On the opposite side, we have the brand new Jada Toys Wolfman. And of course, we have to have him alongside the Marvel Legends Bucky Cap and Marvel Legends Pizza Spider-Man. And then here we have him alongside the Mezco 112 Collective Rumble Society Chaos Club, I don't know, band leader, I guess we'll call that guy. I'm sure he'd love to perform in front of a bunch of zombies. On the opposite side, we have the Mezco 112 Collective Atticus Doom. And I'm sure these guys have gone up against zombies a bunch of times. Here we have the 1,000 Toys Ape Sapien and the 1,000 Toys Hellboy. And then as far as the articulation, I would say that this guy does have a really good amount, although there are some limitations because of the soft goods. But I think for the most part, you could get him into any type of pose that you would want a zombie figure to get into. And you know what's kind of interesting about this guy? They decided not to give him any type of hand articulation. There's no hinge, no swivel, nothing at all. The hands are stuck in this position all the time. And with any other figure, that would have been like a massive letdown. But with this zombie, it really doesn't bother me at all. I don't think having articulated hands would have increased the amount of fun I'm having with this figure. But when I took it out of the box, I was like, oh, no hand articulation. That's weird. But then when I was playing around with the figure, it didn't bother me at all. Like, yeah, it had no effect on how much I was enjoying the figure. So yeah, interesting stuff. But let's go ahead and see what we have going on. So for the head and the neck are one piece. So there's only movement at the lower neck. So we get some nice tilt side to side. He could look left to right. Whoa, get his hat off for a minute. He could look left to right. He could look up to about right there, which is okay. Not a whole lot. More importantly, he could look down to right there, which is really nice. If you want to get him into weird broken neck zombie type of poses, you know. And then for the torso, he does have a diaphragm cut. And it goes forward to right there, which is pretty good. And then he has a ball joint at the waist too. So using both of those, he gets some really nice crunch forward. And it could go back a pretty good amount too, but you don't want to push it back too far because if you do, then the shirt will come untucked from the pants. So that's about as far as you could go before it starts to come out. So that's still pretty good. And then obviously it could tilt side to side. Again, if you go too far in any direction, the shirt's going to come out. So, you know, that's just kind of the nature of the beast here. But yeah, look at that. The torso articulation is pretty damn awesome. And then it can swivel at the diaphragm and at the ball joint at the waist. So good stuff for the torso. And then at the arms, he does have butterfly joints that are pretty nice. You could get his arms in front of him a really good amount. But the soft goods do kind of want to push his arms back into place. But yeah, you could still get them in front of him a pretty good amount and they'll stay there. So that's nice. Or if you want to get this arm back, you could get them into all kinds of weird contorted body zombie type of poses, you know. So yeah, these shoulders are nice. And he does have a ball joint at the shoulder. So his arms could go up to about right there. And surprisingly, the shirt doesn't hinder the upward movement for the arms all that much at all. So that's nice. Yeah, so that's pretty good. And then he does have upper bicep swivel. He's got a really nice double jointed elbow. Look at this. Boom. Want to have him just walking around like that, looking all weird and nasty. Would a zombie have his arm like that? Maybe. Who knows? But yeah, look at that double jointed elbow. That's crazy right there. And as I mentioned before, no articulation at the hands. For the legs, they're a little more restricted than the upper body, but you could get his leg up to about right there. Could go back to about right there. Come out to the side. Ooh, we got to get him into like a zombie karate kicking pose, just in case. Nah, I could only go to right there, and then the pants kind of want to bring it down, and the hips. I mean, they're not loose or anything. They're not super loose, but the pants seem to be overpowering the hip joint there. But yeah, you could get his leg up to about right there. And there is an upper thigh swivel in there, but it's pretty tight, so you want to be careful with that. And then he does have a really nice double jointed knee. Boom, look at that. Even with the pants, you still get some pretty good bend there. And then at the lower leg, he's got a ball joint. Oh, okay, cool. Wait, does he have a ball joint? Oh, I don't see like a hinge inside of that ball joint. It's just the ball with the peg on each side. That's weird. But yeah, so the foot can move around on the ball joint or on the peg that's connected to the ball joint. That's hella weird. And then we have a swivel like at the shin. Okay, that works. I wonder if it's so you could pop these off and put different feet on or something. I'm sure this is like a generic body that's used for a lot of different stuff. So maybe that's the case there. But yeah, like I said, really good articulation on this guy. You could definitely get him into some really great zombie poses. It would be so cool to have like 3 or 4 of these guys just like attacking someone like this with their arms out and just like the lifeless look on their face. Yeah, these are so cool, man. I definitely want to get a few more of them. But yeah, the body definitely has enough articulation, more articulation than you really need for like a zombie. There's some limitations and stuff, but I think you could definitely do a lot of great stuff with this body as far as like zombie-like poses go. There we go. He's dragging his foot. But yeah, man, this figure is a whole bunch of fun to play with. But yeah, pretty satisfied with the articulation despite the limitations. Alrighty, so overall, at the end of the day, when the smoke clears, the dust settles, and it's all said and done, I think this is a really, really great figure. Patriot Studio did an amazing job on it. I love the way this guy looks. He's just so terrifying. He's got like a disgusting, disturbing, nasty look. The blood looks very realistic. The sculpting is extremely well done, especially on the head. I love the way that the mouth looks with the teeth and the tongue and the cheek ripped off. His eyes have a very lifeless kind of look to him. It's a very creepy looking figure. In fact, my daughter hates this damn thing. I'd be playing with this figure all the time if I could, but I have to keep it away from her because she's pretty scared of it. She doesn't like it whatsoever, so that's pretty awesome. But yeah, man, it's a great looking figure. The soft goods are pretty cool too. I like them. They're very well done. I like how they're blood stained and kind of dirty and nasty, and they match the look of the figure very well. I like that he has the belt and the hat and little accessories like that to kind of make him look a little cooler. The gun, the walkie-talkie, all that stuff is cool, but obviously those aren't really things that he could use. It would have been cool if he came with like an arm for him to chew on or a heart or something like that. But as it is, I do like what he came with. But yeah, most of all, I just love the way this figure looks. Articulation is okay, but obviously it's going to be hindered because of the soft goods. But you could tell the body does have some good articulation. You just can't use it all because of the soft goods. And then he does have like that thing with the wrist, but you know, I don't even care about that whatsoever. But I could imagine some people not really digging that. I'm sure people would prefer like hand articulation. But for me, it doesn't really bother me at all. I think the figure could still do anything that you want it to do. So yeah, this is a great figure, man. This thing is crazy. I really don't have any complaints. The only complaint I really do have is the fact that the shoulder was too tight on the other version that broke on me. And his shoulder was tight too. And I think I was kind of scared to mess with his shoulder because of what happened with the first one. So, you know, that's definitely something that maybe needs to be looked at. But, you know, like I said, I asked around and it kind of seems like mine was an isolated incident. So hopefully that turns out to be true. But, you know, if you're going to pick up this figure, I would definitely be careful with the shoulder area. But aside from that, I'm completely satisfied with this figure. Like I said, I can't wait to buy a few more and build up my zombie army, you know. It's going to be dope to have a few of these just kind of attacking someone. That'll be crazy. But yeah, man, this is a really, really great figure. So huge thank you to the folks over at Patriot Studio for sending this out to me to take a look at. I really do appreciate it. This is the first Patriot Studio figure that I've ever experienced, and I'm very pleasantly surprised because they absolutely killed it on this guy. And I know that this figure is supposed to be for like Resident Evil. I'll be honest with you, I'm not very familiar with Resident Evil. I'm not a gamer or anything like that. My interest in this figure comes from just wanting cool zombies. And in that regard, this thing absolutely kills it. So if you're a fan of zombies or gory, nasty figures, I suggest checking this guy out because this thing is awesome. And with that, I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Also, be sure to hit the bell notification so you know every time that I go live. If you're not aware, I do go live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. and every Friday at 7 p.m. So come through, let's talk about toys and get weird. Thank you very much. Peace.